episode of King Fyz Perspective Epic Book Club. Today, we will be talking about the death chapter of the King Fyz Perspective book, ebook, and audiobook. Available now. Make sure y'all go check it out. New book on the way. It will be released September the 17th. So make sure y'all stay tuned. Make sure y'all get that. Make sure y'all support. All of y'all support will go towards the launch for the 17th. So on the site we have audio downloads for as low as $2. So if you got $2, by all means, go ahead and support. Check it out. I mean, everything goes toward the release of this next project, and y'all gonna really enjoy this. This next one is gonna be an actionable guide, so it's a book that you'll be able to work with. It's a workbook. It's active. Y'all will enjoy it. It's changed me. It got me on some different stuff. I'm actually drinking aloe coconut water this morning. I was trying to get into my soursop, but it went bad on me. So if you ever get a soursop and it's black, don't buy that shit. It's gonna be brown on the inside. It gotta stay white on the inside. But soursop was the breakfast choice, but now we're going with coconut water today. I think I'm gonna go with a healthy diet today. Stick with the melons and hydrating things. I got myself a watermelon and a mango right there waiting for me. So, you know, I don't just talk about it, I'll be about it. So, without further ado, I done talked y'all head off enough. Let's get right into it. But definitely, if y'all not following me on the gram, that's FYZCAST on the gram, FYZCAST, that's Fyzcast. You can just look me up, podcasts and everything available. All right, so that's enough. I know y'all probably like, when is he gonna start talking about the book? But I just had to get that out the way, and I apologize. I just ran y'all up for like 2 minutes straight. But we're gonna get right into it without further ado. I know. I'm starting. All right. So look, all right, so we're gonna start. We'll start with the first section of the death chapter. All right. So I said, I was so vain at one point that I used to want my family to turn my bones into collectible items for those who would want them. Also, so my great-great-grandkids would be able to physically touch me like King Tut. Now, that is a little unorthodox, but I really did want to be, want my bones to be sculpted into little F crowns for people to wear and stuff like that when I pass. But I spoke with my son and he was like, nah, Dad, that's creepy and I don't want no pieces of your bones when you go type shit. So it was like, that was kind of my primary focus of who to leave it to. And when he was so like, oh no about it, I was like, well, I guess I won't be going with that. Then I had a conversation with my mom and she was like, she's Muslim. So she's like, you know, why would you destroy something that God created, let it disintegrate like it's supposed to? I took that into consideration and I changed it, and I say that in the book, what my different perspective is now or whatever. But the question that arises from me saying something like that in the book is, you know, should people have control over their remains, even if their wishes are disturbing or unorthodox? Like, should people be able to, you know, have these type of concepts about death and things like that, if it's unorthodox or crazy, like chopping up the bones and saving the pieces, or, you know, sprinkling a body in a strip club, or, you know, doing any type of thing? Like, do you think that people should have control over that, or do you think that people that are paying for the funeral should control, you know, what it is that happens to the body when they go? Like, what do you think? Like, I honestly want to know your opinion. Like, do you really feel like it's up to the person that's paying, or is it up to the person that's dying to know, to say what that last movement is about? Or I'm reading. I'm Simon, so I'm reading this. All right, yeah. So they saying, like, if it's something like crazy, like they want to be they funeral, or they want to be buried or whatever at a strip club with their body like standing on stage with girls dancing on them and all that, they saying like that's taking it too far and they wouldn't honor that, and that's a little crazy for people to do. I mean, but what you think? By all means, put a comment up there. You feel like that's crazy, or would you actually, you know, throw a party for your dead homie, put him on stage, and had a girls dance on his body while he sitting there, like taxidermic style? Do you think that's a little outrageous, or you think that's cool because that's what they decided to do? They said they don't care. They just whatever they decided to do. They said, look, that whatever that's what they want, they gonna do it. Cool. By all means. I mean, hey, to each his own. If that's what you into, you know what I mean. Me personally, I don't know. I kind of don't know what I would do in that situation. Um, you kind of want to honor that person's wishes, but also it's a little crazy and uncomfortable to be doing. You know, grandma might be there and everything. I don't know. That's a little touchy. I don't know if I want to. I don't know. I don't really. Maybe I think more about that question. I personally don't have an answer for that because that's a little deep. I need a little more time to think about that myself personally. But I'll go on to the next one. And by all means, all y'all that's here, make sure y'all put in your comments and tap in and everything. By all means, join the conversation. We talking about the death chapter of the book. We talking about some aspects that revolve around people dying and the responsibilities and stuff. So the next question that arises is the human ego in fear of being forgotten based on narcissism, or is it a moral reason to be worried about what happens to your body when you go? So like, is it a moral reason to care about what happens when your body go, or is it just you being narcissistic about your presence, that you want to care about what happens when you go? Because you're not here to see it anyway, so ultimately it kind of really wouldn't make a difference. And even if you are above watching over and can see, I don't think it really would make a difference because you ain't there no more. So it kind of really wouldn't matter what they're doing to it. But I feel like for me personally, that it does have a lot to do with ego, because if you're not there for it, you shouldn't care at all. But the fact that you do care means that you kind of got some ego going on. But I do think that some people, that I guess I would say 50-50, because you got the moral reasons that some people may not want their body burnt up for whatever reason. Like I used to be like, cool, cremation is whatever, it's cheap, just rock out. But you know, from a spiritual aspect, my mom said, like, why would you destroy something that God created? And then I thought about it, like, ooh, that is kind of, I didn't really think about it like that. And that's another reason why I created the King Fyz Perspective in the first place, because I feel like these are things that we just do and not really think deeply about what this could potentially mean or what it really is. So we don't really think about when we cremate in the body that we're destroying the body, fast forwarding the destruction of the body. We just saying, hey, fuck, we cremated, but that's what we get for it. But some people look at it a more spiritual level of you're destroying something God created. Same as some people don't do tattoos and things of that nature, which I don't, because I feel like whatever permanent scars I get is what God gave me, and I'm indecisive, so I'll end up with way too many tattoos because I wouldn't stop, because I would always feel like, next year I should have put it here or I should have put it there. But oh, okay, all right, yeah. So they saying that it is, they think that it's all ego. Me personally, I feel like it has a spiritual aspect of you caring about what happens with your body and all that. But y'all out there, make sure y'all put y'all comments up. Let me know what y'all feel and how y'all think, what y'all opinion is. So we're gonna go on to the next question. The next question is, should society draw the lines between honoring, like, where should society draw the line between honoring the deceased's wishes and respecting the boundaries? Like, where should the line be drawn? What is it that should be like over the top, where it's like, this is not, we can't do this. This is not something that you can celebrate your death with. We will not do this particular thing. Like, if your thing was you wanted somebody to, I don't know, to like do something to you while you know, in your casket or something, that might be something taking it too far. That some people may feel like that ain't, you know, they're not going to honor something like that. Hey, what's going on with you? What's going on with you? Welcome to the King Fyz Perspective Epic Book Club. We're talking about the death chapter of the King Fyz Perspective book, ebook and audio book available now. So we're gonna get into this next part where I say, I don't know how I feel about the donation of organs because I'm not sure if spirit lives inside the living DNA, and I don't want to be in two different dimensions in one time. So when I say something like that, that automatically arises a question. But it's like you don't know whether or not it's some type of connection between your physical being and your spirit or whatever. We know that we just controlling these machines. We're not these machines, but we don't know if it's a part that resonates in the functioning part of our organs, like our actual heart or our actual whatever. Like, of course, when we go, we leave the body. But if it's a piece of our body that controls the body that's still running, does that mean that it's a piece of our energy trapped in that organ? So me thinking about that is why I said that in the book. But the question that arises is it ethical to refuse organ donating on a spiritual cause, even though it could save lives? Like, is it ethical for me to say, no, I don't want to give away my heart for my spiritual reasons, even though it can save a life? So they saying that it's selfish. Like, they think it's selfish that, you could have gave away, your heart or your whatever. You don't need it no more. You being selfish, you can give somebody else life, and helping other people is part of life. So yeah, I get it. I agree. Yeah, that is a little. I ain't gonna say I exactly agree, but I get what you're saying. But due to the fact of what I just explained, that's the reason why I personally don't participate in it, and I feel like it also creates turns you into a target for harnessing for into a target for what they call it when people be taking people organs and all that. I just feel like when you put that on there, it's like you're a target for the hospital. Like, let them die, we need a heart anyway, we gonna take it. So I'm not with the donation. Shout out to everybody that do, because it saved a lot of lives. I mean, a whole lot of people wouldn't be here if it wasn't for those that didn't sacrifice or give away they organs or whatever. Hey, what's going on? Give away their organs when they pass. But me personally, I want to keep all my stuff in my body with me. I mean, unless one of my kids or something like that needs it, because if I'm trapped in two dimensions and all that, at least I'll be trapped inside of a vessel with somebody that I love or care about. But for a stranger, I don't know, I just feel like that might be a little weird if that's possible. But what's going on with you? What's going on with you? Welcome to the Epic Book Club, King Fyz Perspective book, ebook, and audio book available now. Right now, we going through the death chapter, and we going through some questions and everything. So by all means, let me know your comments. You got some questions, you got answers, you got whatever. Definitely let me know. We'll get into that next question because I like to keep the ball rolling. So the next question is, does our modern understanding of biology conflict with or support the belief that a person's spirit could live inside of a body part? So do you think that a person spirit or whatever can live inside of the heart or the lung or a function organ that controls the body, like the brain or anything like that? Like, do you believe if somebody took the brain out of you and stuck it into another person, do you believe you still would be attached to that somehow? That's the question. So they saying that they think that that's ridiculous. Once your body, once your spirit leaves the body for the full function, then it's gone. And they saying basically the energy can still be in it, so it could still potentially be there. So again, I'm still at a 50-50 on my perspective of it. Until somebody says something that changes my mind to something different, I'm gonna go with the 50-50. I'm 50-50 with it. Yeah. So by all means, put your comments in. If you got a comment, put it in there. Welcome to the King Fyz Perspective Epic Book Club, book, ebook, and audiobook available now. We have downloads as low as $2. If you want to support, go ahead and check it out. That first chapter is a download for $2. A free 10-minute preview of the book. If you go on YouTube, look up Fyz Perspective, or Google King Fyz Perspective, whatever, you'll find the information for it. But right now we in the Jeff chapter and we asking some questions, so I want your opinion, so you make sure you participate and give me your opinion on how you feel about these topics, because it's not, the book is my perspective, but I want y'all perspective to see if we all on the same page, or if I'm making sense or whatever to other people, not just me. Making sure y'all getting the messages that I'm putting out the proper way. So the next question is, can spirituality coexist with medical science when it when it comes to making end-of-life decisions? So can spirituality and science coexist when it comes to end-of-life decisions, like pulling the plug? Like, do you feel like pulling the plug is moral or immoral? Like, do you feel like the person that's pulling the plug should go to hell for pulling the plug, or they should be judged for being a murderer for pulling the plug on that person? Or do you think they done it and it's a moral thing, and people do these things out of morality and saving people from suffering and things like that? Yeah, so they saying that they feel like it's a moral thing because they putting people out of their misery, and people, they don't want to see people suffer. So they saying that it's cool, it's all right, long as that person is being taken out of their misery and it's not like forced on them, then it's not a murder. Um, oh, yeah, well, yeah. So they're saying that it is murder. No matter what, once you pull the plug on somebody, you are responsible for taking it. So you are actually taking them out. So they're saying that you are a murderer, and that is not right. And they also saying that the person that pulls it, even if they're a doctor, they're in the wrong too for pulling the plug, because God's supposed to handle that and let it just go with time. But I do understand the fact that if somebody is only living on a machine, technically they're not really living, the machine is living for them. So if the machine is living for them, then really it's just selfishness. So you keeping them here in the process, because if they can't live without any mechanical assistance, then technically they're not really living. So I get that. So I guess we could say it's 50-50. A lot of these things I'm pretty much 50-50 on, just because I understand that there's gray areas when you come to these different topics, different scenarios and things like that. So I'm personally 50-50. As time goes on, maybe by book number 8, I may have came through epiphany that would give me a little more clearer on those topics. But right now, that's where we at with it. So next part of the chapter, the death chapter. The death chapter is T19 in the book, not page T19, but once you get the book, you'll understand the different terminologies and things associated to the book, because I created it kind of to have its own world or universe. So once you tap into the book, the people that read the book, y'all will be on the same frequency. I know, because there's certain things that I do and write in the book in a way that the people that read it will understand it. But as you can see, the font is pretty large, easy read, conversational structure or whatever, intentionally. So we're gonna get to the part where I say, all right, good, cool, we could go with this. All right, so I say, you selfishly decided to buy material things and get inebriated with $30 a month instead of spending a couple dollars to get a life insurance policy. All right, now, I know one of the questions that arise, hey, what's going on? Welcome to the Epic Book Club. Got those questions going on today. What's going on with you this morning? Good morning. So right now, I just had read a section out the book, and the section that I read, I was basically saying that a lot of people choose to spend. Thank you. A lot of people choose to spend $30 a month or more on getting inebriated rather than buying life insurance. So with that same $30 a month, you could have made sure you got in the ground, and your family don't have to do a fish fry when you pass away. But saying that in the book, the question that arises from that, hey, welcome in, welcome in. The question that arises from that is it fair to say someone is selfish for not having life insurance if they live check to check or don't trust the financial institutions? Like, is it fair to say, hey, you don't got life insurance, so you don't care about your being if a person can't afford it? Or do you feel like that's a responsibility that they should take care of, and if they can't afford it, they need to make sure they can?
I think as an adult, that is your responsibility. But you know, if a person is not able, or, you know what I mean, like either like physically, mentally, they're not able to do it themselves. Of course, somebody else should take over that. You know.
Yeah.
But if you are able, yeah, you know, do your research and find out. You know, what's the best? Like, I don't think it's an excuse. If you don't have a real excuse, it's your job.
Exactly. I feel the
It's
same.
your life.
I feel the same way because I feel like it's your life, it's your responsibility to make sure that it don't fall back on nobody else. And it's like when I look at it, it's like I understand times is hard. You may not have money, I get it, but they do have term. They got
Is it fair to leave it on others?
exactly.
That you're gone.
Exactly. You don't ruin their whole life. Like now they got to worry about now you're not around. You can't pay them back. Now I can't pay my bills and my kids are starving because your ass couldn't pay $5 a
And
month.
I possibly have to cremate you, and you didn't want that. But you
Exactly.
didn't afford burying you the way you want it. You want to be buried a certain way, then
Welcome
yeah.
in. Welcome in.
So I had a situation kind of like that. My mother, she was paying on her insurance policy herself, and somehow there was some kind of something went wrong. I'm gonna say either her payments wasn't going through, or this place wasn't legitimate because she was telling me something before she passed away about they wasn't a good company or what have you.
Oh damn.
But also the person that was paying on her insurance policy, helping her, say that her stuff was lapsing and he had no idea. So there was two different things going on. But she also made it very clear she wanted to be cremated. So that kind of helped a lot because she didn't, you know, like I said, she didn't comply with whatever they were supposed to, or they wasn't a good company. It was one or the other. So those things can happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But by the grace of God, it didn't kill too many people's pockets, you know, because everybody had to pitch in. I don't know if you know about that, but this is definitely a conversation I know. Yeah. All to it.
and they're crazy. And sorry to hear about that. I know that was like a traumatic scenario. And the craziest part about it is, like, and in those cases, I feel like I wouldn't put her kind of in that category because it was like she did have something set up for her. So I would say those like unique situations. She was adult enough to know, hey, look, I need to make sure that, you know, I'm not stressing my family out when I go. So she did take care of that. You know, life happens, you know what I mean? So sometimes things like that, I get it, you know what I mean?
But she was in the right direction.
Exactly,
like, hey,
exactly.
I don't know, but I don't want to make all this happen fall on people, so let me at least, like, she was doing it for a long time. And then somebody else took over.
Oh, shit,
but by that time, they didn't even know that they had dropped her.
Oh, damn.
You know, they had dropped her, like, from the insurance policy.
Hey, it was cool.
And when he found out, he was like, dang, I could have helped. Why you didn't say anything? And I guess she just didn't want to burden him. So she didn't say anything. Or she missed it. Like, some stuff, I don't really, you know the answer to that, but...
Yeah. And it's crazy because that definitely can happen. And that's another thing to monitor on it, because a lot of times, because I have mine set on like automatic. So it's like,
Hers was
oh, okay.
something. Yeah, hers was automatic coming out of because she had a monthly
Yeah.
thing going on.
Uh-huh.
But somewhere, I guess maybe overdraft or miss
Oh, okay.
a
Gotcha.
payment.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about? There's nothing in your account on that date. You missed the payment.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
then you missed another payment, but then you do have the other payment. You still in a negative.
Exactly. So yeah, and this.
Yeah, you know how that should go.
Exactly, because I actually had a policy that I forgot about, and it ate itself. I had this policy since I was maybe 18, and the policy was like $20,000 policy. And I was sitting, I'm like, damn, I had another policy. Let me check on it. I checked on it. It was like, yeah, you did have one, but it lapsed. I said, it lapsed. It was like, I ain't get no bill. They said, well, it ate itself. Like every time I didn't pay the bill, it came out of the value of what the policy was, and it kept doing it till the policy was at zero. So I couldn't even pay on it when I remembered it because it ate itself. So it's like, hey, what's going on? What's going on? Hey, but I was like, damn, that's crazy. So now I stay on top of it, but I also learned how to borrow against it and everything like that. I talk about that in the book too, but and I'm dropping another one on my birthday, September the 17th. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Yeah, this is gonna be an actionable work guide. So on this September the 17th, 2 weeks away. It will be an actionable work guide, and in the book, you'll be able to fill out the book. So unlike this book, it's interactive. So it'll ask you questions like, what's your weight? What's your ideal weight? What food you like? What food you don't like? And once you answer those questions, it'll be like, I want to be 150. I like apples. I don't like bananas. I like doing this exercise. Once you look at the paper, you'll have a blueprint to your life of how to fix whatever errors you have and actually look at them more intricately so that you can actually fix these issues that you may have. So it's kind of do a lot of things. What's up? What's up? What's up? But that's what the next Joan gonna be about. So I'm excited for that Joan. But hell yeah! But thank you. Yeah, that definitely came in handy because I definitely, the funny part about it is on this joint I don't recharge. So it's like whatever I got left on there is on there, and I tried to cash out and I couldn't. So it's just like I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna pause on everything. But I'm here. I definitely appreciate your support. That but the you know what? I'm gonna get back into the borrowing against the life insurance policy because I'm gonna go on to a tangent because I just experienced how to work it, and it's a whole nother world. So I'm gonna break down like how to do it and all that in a second. But I know I'm gonna stay there long because I know a lot of people need to understand how to do this and the importance of it. But the next question is, how can we encourage the responsibility for death experiences without shaming the person? Like, how do we, give them awareness or get them to care about having life insurance for their family? Hey, what's going on? What's going on? Get them to care about having life insurance and everything without making them, feel shameful that they don't have it or whatever. Because I always say, you'll smoke or drink, $20 a month, but you won't pay $20 a month. Cause
I got an answer for that.
What's that?
Just what I just was saying. Hey, do you want people? Do you want to be in a jar, in a glass jar, or do you want to be, put away in people? Well, people can still see you.
Yeah.
So that's not true. Because I still see my mother.
Exactly.
Before ashes. So that wasn't a good example, but I mean, I guess it's still a good example to say. How would I say that? Like, I guess you would make it. I don't know.
Yeah, because I was wondering because I know I always most of the time when I talk about things that I'm passionate about and I know it's important for the other person to get, I usually go into that direction of the shaming just because I feel like you really need to know this. This is really, really fucking important. Like, I think you're going to regret not taking action.
I really don't have an answer because I don't have one set for myself.
Oh, got you.
Therefore, I was like, girl, you can't even talk.
Right, see that in itself, though.
Think because we're young that, we don't need it and it's not that important, but people die young.
Yeah, and it's important to get it on your kids, too.
We're not young, but we're old enough.
Exactly.
To make sure that this doesn't fall on somebody, especially Me, I don't have a husband. You know what I'm saying? My mom is gone. My dad, he got his own stuff. So who is going to make sure that I'm put away the way I should be, or who do I leave that up to?
Exactly.
You should put your own money in. You should have your own shit set up.
Exactly.
And you know what I mean? No shade, should.
Because it's like, even if you got $10 or $20 to put away and you don't trust the insurance people, you can even set up a savings account and just have that automatically come out your check, like $10 a check, just to have some kind of bucket of money for, because you don't want your kids and everybody struggling and fish frying and all this other crazy shit when you had your whole life to prepare for it. We know we all gonna die. It's a guarantee. It's the only thing guaranteed. So how is you not preparing for the guarantee?
If it ain't nothing that's 100% guaranteed,
exactly.
We gonna die.
And it's like, even with your cars, like, you got car insurance. You pay $300 a month on car insurance, but you don't pay $10 a month on life insurance. I don't get it. Like, that's the part where it's like, how the fuck? Because the price of a car insurance, you can get $500,000 worth of life insurance. You mean to tell you can make your children rich?
People think about now and not later,
exactly.
And that's why it is so important to have an insurance policy, because it's not you don't know what's gonna happen.
Exactly. And now the benefit of having an insurance policy as fast as possible is that you could borrow against it. So this is not like you just getting an insurance policy for just in case. You can.
Which one do you think is the best?
I would say whole.
Insurance policy.
I would say
for your own savings.
I would say your own savings. But I would say, you know what though? I say if your pockets is tight, I would say insurance policy. The reason why I would say insurance policy is because it's two birds with one stone. That same $50 a month that you're paying will, of course, it'll take you about 3 to 5 years for you to be able to start taking stuff out. But in 3 to 5 years, you'll have your little $500 or more that you can borrow against, and you can pay that back to yourself. And if you don't pay it back, it comes out of the final tally up of what you get paid what get paid out when you pass away. So it's like, if you can kill two birds with one stone, why not kill two birds with one stone?
I'm gonna go with put your own money in.
Yeah, I mean, it's to each his own. Like, and the own money up will give you more access to it and all that. But the only difference is when you put it in a life insurance policy, putting your own money up is only giving you that amount. If you get the life insurance policy, you get more than you could afford. Because if you spending,
I think that's what they want you to think.
No, it's the fact. You can't outlive. All right, when you get these policies, the amount of time it would take for you to pay into that, you would be probably like 90 years old by the time you reach the amount that you've been paying for. So you get $100,000 policy, you're gonna die before you put $100,000 into that policy, because when you multiply how many payments you make per month,
what does that mean?
That means that they're giving you a bonus.
They finish paying the policy off, so they still give you $100,000.
Yes. That's why the rich people do it. That is why.
I don't believe that.
No.
I have no knowledge.
Yeah, this is the reason. Yeah. So that's the reason why I'm having this particular book up on this topic, because I know our people don't understand it.
My mom, her stuff stopped going in. She had
Yeah. That's because she stopped paying in. I'm talking about if you're up to date.
Okay.
Yeah, if you stop paying in, it's over. But as long as you're paying it, yeah. Yeah. Long as just everything is up to date. Yeah, as long as it's up to date and current when you pass. Like, if you paid last month bill, then yeah. But if you ain't paid the bill in 2 months, no, they're not gonna pay you, because they already giving you more than you put in. By the time you pass away, if you got a $20,000 policy, usually by the time you pass away, you only put in $10,000. So they're not gonna be rushing to give you an extra $10,000 anyway. So they're gonna try to find a way not to do it. So if you a smoker and didn't put down you a smoker, they'll be like, oh, you were smoking, so we ain't gonna give it to you. So that's why it's important to be honest on it, because when it comes down to it, they really don't want to give you the money. So they're going to investigate to make sure you didn't kill yourself and all these different stipulations. So it's like, you want to be honest when you saying whether you smoking and all that. So if you die, if they have to do an autopsy, because if they find out you've been smoking, then now your insurance now got to pay you, because you went against what you said. But if you was a smoker and you was up to date and you paid all, you get your full pay. Now, if you borrowed against it, say you had a $20,000 plan and you borrowed $5,000 of it and you ain't paid it back before you died, but you was still paying regular payments, you would only get $15,000 when you die. So that's the benefit of it, because you always get back more than you put in, and you can borrow against it if you need it. So it's like a savings
Like
account
all
that
policies work like this.
no whole life insurance policies work like that across the board. I don't care what type of whole life insurance policy you get, all of them work like that. They all work like that. Now, term life, term life is cheap. No, I'm only telling you that because I have three different life insurance policies, and all three of these companies they all function like that. And I think by law that is how the actual whole life is structured. It builds cash value. Whole if
If
you
I want, so my insurance policy was 100,000, but I only put in 50,000, and the person passed away. You telling me they still give me 100,000?
yes,
To
that's
put my person away?
yes,
I don't believe.
yes. That's the whole purpose of the life insurance policy is to guarantee that you get this amount of money. That's the reason why rich people get it. Why you think rich?
That's why I don't know. I should have asked my nigga because I'm sure he has several.
Yeah,
I'm sure he has
exactly,
one of my ass.
exactly. So
And
and what
they know
what
exactly for that.
well, you know, you need to have you got to have a person's social security number and all that to get a life insurance policy on the other person. But they you do need the consent of the other individual before you get a policy on the person. So you have to have the person has to consent that.
I think it's something like with the job.
Yeah, even with it, he could add you on as a writer. So if you add somebody on as a writer, that means that they are part of your policy. So even though he may not have insurance directly on you, if something happens to you, his life insurance policy will pay out half of the value of his. So if he got a 20,000, if something happened to you and you want his rider, he'll get 10,000 to go towards your death benefit because that's what a rider is. A rider is somebody else that can benefit from a portion of your life insurance policy. So that's he may have that, which is important if you're in a relationship with somebody or somebody that you're responsible for putting in the ground. You need to have them as a rider because that's the only way you can get some money for their death without having to pay an additional life insurance policy or have one for them directly. So it's just letting them be a part of it and get some type of benefit from it. So it's like these is different things that it's very important for me to do this because it's a lot of misnomers and misunderstandings revolving around life insurance because our community don't talk about it and we don't really do it. So those of us that have it, we don't really borrow against it. We don't really do the things. We just hear about it. Me personally, I'm a person that actually physically borrows against it. I'm telling you this. This is not no shit that I Googled. This is physical life, me actually doing these things. So when I talk about stuff, I talk about stuff because I really, really did it. So I wouldn't steer you in the wrong direction. I literally just did that shit. Like I literally was just, I got policies on other people and I was just about to borrow against that to take care of some business. And I was like, nah, I'm gonna wait till that's like, when things get real wild and crazy and I just really fucked up about it. But it's good to know I got that in the pocket because that couple $100 of the $100 and some change that I'm spending every month on life insurance for all these different people, the benefit of it is that it gives me access to income that I could tap into if I need it. And when you pay it back, it's usually 6 to 8% interest that you got to pay back. But that interest goes to you. So if you borrow $5 and then you got to pay back $10, it kind of wouldn't make a difference to you because this $10 going back to you, directly to you and to your benefit and towards your actual finances and everything like that. So it still builds cash value. So when you pay it back, by the time you're done paying it back, your cash value is even higher than it was before because you're paying more into it than you was before. So you just continuously building the pot. This is why they're able to get their kids cars and Bentleys and shit for graduation and all that because they got $1 million policies and $500,000 policies on each other and all throughout their families. So instead of using credit cards and fucking up their credit, they borrowing against their life insurance policy. They get fucked up, they can't pay it back. That just comes out of the end result. So as long as you got 50,000 or more, you kind of could fuck up 5,000 and be good for a couple years because it ain't going to eat up but so much. You'll still have at least 20 even if you never pay back what you borrowed, but you still got to continue to pay your monthly, your monthly premiums and all that just to keep it active. As long as it's active, you can really get it busy. Hey, welcome in. We talking about the death chapter and everything. Yeah, I go off on a tangent once we start getting to the life insurance because I've like did a lot of investigation and study on it and just been getting better at navigating it. And I just like can't wait to tell people because I want people to understand and experience what I'm experiencing. The same as when I taught myself how to do stocks. It's like stocks and insurance is the two things we don't talk about that everybody is scared of because they only know the bad side. But if they knew the other side, they would understand why the rich people just chilling, getting money, and enjoying life, while we afraid of doing the easiest things that we can do. That's two things that every person can do that you don't even need a job to get stocks. And you can make money on your money. You know what I mean? And a life insurance policy is not that expensive.
I think they're not educated on it. Like they were never taught.
Exactly.
Not making excuses. Some stuff we just weren't taught, and we hear about it, but we don't know what value it has because nobody taught us.
Exactly. And then even like the kids, like it's beneficial to get the life insurance policy for your kids because the younger they are, the cheaper it is. So if you get a life insurance policy for your kids, say you just had a baby and you get a life insurance policy, it might be $5 a month, but that $5 a month may mean a $10,000 life insurance policy on that child. But with Gerber, once they turn 18, it doubles in value. So they would be still paying $5 for the rest of their life, and they still got $20,000 worth of insurance.
Now that you put my mother, she's when she did her insurance policy, I remember she put one on. She tried to put one on like Logan. This before I had my son. And I thought that was so sweet. She said, "Yeah, I got my grandbaby on Gerber.
Exactly.
I got Gerber. Yeah, she was so excited because she told everybody.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Her intentions were so you know, her intentions were good.
Yeah, and that's a mindful person. That's a mindful person. She was really thinking because that's a lot of people don't think like that. Like, and that's a big step in caring about somebody is you care enough about somebody to try to make sure that they're set up and everything. And she probably understood the benefits of it. She might not have broke it down to you, but she probably understood like, all right, if I get her a policy at this age, you said
broke it down to me what came with the package. Now you know that we talking about it. I remember. She did. She broke it down with an offer, like stuff for her and stuff like that. And I was like, okay. Well, I was young and shit at the time, so I was like, okay, you know, I didn't think nothing of it. Like, okay.
Like,
I just had her, so I was like, okay, thanks, Mom. Like, okay. But now that I'm a little bit more, I have a little bit more knowledge on it. I'm like, okay, yeah, like, and it's a good conversation. Like, you always have good conversation, and it's crazy that people don't, what's the word? It's crazy that people, this app is just like, it's fucked up. Like, people don't want to hear this type of conversations. I do, but it's just, you know, I'm just me.
Exactly.
But I think you would do very well on other platforms. Like your what you do is awesome.
Thank you.
Talking to you guys, it puts me at peace. It puts me in thinking mode. It has me like trying to take notes and shit. Like I could be doing anything else, but you know what I'm saying. I ain't seen you in a while on here.
Yeah, and I haven't. I've been so busy, and then working on that new book and everything. And yeah. Yeah, and it's definitely I'm always excited when you come through because you always give the good energy, good insight, and the fact that you're a very honest person and you direct. So it's like I like that because it's like ain't no cut cards, ain't no if you don't understand it, you're gonna say you don't understand it. You don't have you don't have like a pride issue where some people try to pretend like they know some shit they don't know. It's like if you don't know it, you don't fucking know it. And it's like it's nothing you can't like people that straight up and honest like you can't do to help but to respect them. It's just like they got enough heart to actually be whoever they are and say whatever they feel. Hey.
Guess who I'm talking to?
Who? Who?
You look pretty.
Huh?
Yes. Now, I can check it. You want to check it? I know it's the head. You don't have a phone phone. My organ is here. I should have one at one of these stores. You want? I mean, you might not be low. You said you need to check. Okay. Yeah, let's let it cool off. Then we'll check it.
Yeah, definitely don't. Yeah, hey. Yeah, definitely don't open that joint up while it's still warm. You definitely gotta let that sit for like a half an hour or so.
But yeah, you can't do it right after you go.
when you just said who jumped in, somebody had came inside the room right quick, Brown Sugar or whatever, and I thought you were saying she was Brown Sugar because I heard a voice, but I didn't see her on the panel. I'm like, all right, so she changed her name to Brown Sugar. I was confused for a second, but yeah, but oh, let me get to the back to the business, back to the business. I'm so excited, Joe. I can't even help myself. Dang, well, 44, man, 44. This happening to me. This happening to me. Happening for me, I should say. All right, so the next section of the book, I would say, I say, is it selfish to not have something? It's selfish to not have something in place for when you die. Most people spend their money on cars and music and unnecessary things. And to me, it don't make sense that you treat cars as a more insurable item than your life. Is what I say in the book. And in saying a statement like that, the question that arises is, should financial participation and everything for death be up to the person that's dying, or should that fall on the person that takes care of them, or their parents, or their friends, or family? Like, is it the person that died responsibility to pay for it, or other people directly? Me personally, I feel like if you the one that lived your life, you the one that's dying, you the one that's paying, because you done lived your life and did whatever you did to make the decisions that got you in the situation that ultimately ended up in that happening, then you should be responsible for paying for it. I don't think that if you spend your whole life running the streets, playing the club, doing all this other stuff, and I gotta pay for your passing away, it's crazy. So I personally don't think that the other people should pay for it. I feel like it's your responsibility to pay for your own life insurance. You was here, you spent your money. I shouldn't have to spend my money on you. But I do think it is important to have life insurance on anybody that you would be responsible for putting in the ground, because that's your money. You're going to end up having to pay for that. So I feel like it makes sense to at least have some type of policy, even if it's a term life policy, so you ain't fresh frying it up, just so you can be covered, so that you won't be stressed out about having to get the money together for them. You at least have that peace of mind. And the benefit is you can actually borrow against it. So while you got the life insurance policy on them, if shit get tight, you take a couple dollars out on that Joan, and if shit go left, it'll only be a couple dollars to go towards it, but you'll have some type of something. But the cheapest way to do it would be for term life insurance, which you could probably get that for like $5 for damn near $100,000. But the person has to die a specific way, so that's like a rolling the dice thing, where if the person can't be like, some of them, like, you can't like kill yourself. None of them you can kill yourself, but like, it can't be drugs, or you can't get shot. There's like certain different things that got different ways that you have to die when you have that accidental death benefit. But it's cheap, and you can get paid out a whole lot if you do end up just randomly dying. You can make a big ass bag off a little $5. So I say that to say, at least have one of them type of policies if you don't have a full life. The whole life is going to cost you more, but you'll get more out of it. You'll be able to borrow against it. It will pay you out more than you can usually pay into it over time. But yes, you do take 3 to 5 years in order to build enough cash value in order for you to borrow against it, so you can benefit from it. But it's usually 6 to 8% when you borrow against it, so it's cheaper than a credit card. Makes all the sense in the world. And if you got kids, I would say get a policy on all your kids in the next 5 years or so. As long as you get somewhere around 10, 20,000, you'll have like 500 per policy to pull off in like 5 years. But that continues to grow over time. And once you take out The loan, when you pay it back, you're paying it back with interest, which means you're paying more into the cash value of it. So that following year, you'll have even more that you could borrow against once you pay it back. So that's better than the credit card. It don't mess with your credit, and it's private, and it keeps it personal. And if it's connected to a trust, that's even better. So that's like the main goal, is to, even if you don't have no assets, utilize your life insurance policy as something that funds your trust. Because realistically, if you set up the trust properly, you have life insurance policy on all your friends and family and everything is set up in a trust, so everything will go to the trust account. So when people pass, it will go to the trust account. The trustee will disperse it to whoever you said is supposed to get the bread from it. You continue to cycle over and over and over. You got generational wealth forever just off of people being smart enough to have life insurance policies rather than not have them. Because if you have them, then everybody can ball out. And when people pass away, it wouldn't be such a stressful moment. The finances would help, and you can have some money. You can afford to celebrate them properly the way you want to without stress. So I just feel like if everybody was on board with the life insurance policy, if one family just took it out to be on board with the life insurance policy, everything would be different. And that's the reason why I'm so focused on that, is because I want to make sure my kids grow up understanding that. So all my kids got life insurance policy. So when they get older, they'll be able to afford to get their own and a more expensive one. So they all will be able to spend $12 per month for the rest of their life to be cool. So as an adult, $12 a month is nothing, especially for a whole life policy. So it's like, all right, they're paying $12 a month for like $20,000 worth of life insurance, which means when they get older, they can add another, whatever they want to add to it and get up to 100, a million, or whatever, and they would only be paying like $30 a month for like 100,000 or more policy because they started so young. And once they get old enough to drive, they'll actually have enough money to take out of their life insurance policy to buy their first car. I don't think people understand this is the strategy that's being used from the people that's financially structured, where you see people, oh, they got nice to all this shit. These is what they doing in the background. And everybody don't communicate about it, so we don't know, so we don't share the information. So we just sit here breaking our back, struggling and doing all this other stuff when there's so many different things that we could be doing that will make life more simpler in a financial aspect. And I feel like that's the reason why Republicans and different people that have different mindsets, that's in a higher financial bracket, don't have no sympathy for poor or impoverished people, because they look at it like, y'all got the same 24 hours we got. You got the stock market and life insurance, two things that you don't need no education or no job to obtain, that you can generate money from. So it's like, so you didn't think about putting a couple dollars in the stock market for it to grow, knowing you can see everything happen over and over and history repeats itself, and you have companies like Apple and everything that you already buy that you could just be investing in and making money for your future. And you can also be taking money and putting it into your life insurance policy and cover the fact that when you die, you good, and have a couple extra dollars every now and then when you need it. No, they wouldn't have sympathy. And I understand why. And the more I learn about financial aspects and things, I start to understand why rich people have less and less sympathy for people that's poor, because it's like, this information is not like hidden information. This is like the most public information. If you even step halfway to even ask one question, you'll get this much information. But nobody's taking the time to ask the question, so I'm creating a platform in the area to bring up that topic so that our people could get some information about things that's more beneficial. Oh yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, so next question. I always go off on a tangent when I get into this, because I'll be so hyped and excited that I've just started working with it. So now that I know how it works and everything, I can't wait to tell people, like, yo, did you know you could do this? This is fucking amazing. But once again, make sure y'all get the King Fyz Perspective book, ebook, and audio book available now. We breaking down. We down to the last question of the evening. Of course, we will be back at 6:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, live on Bigo and live on YouTube. So we'll be here, and we are going through T19, the death chapter in the book. But the last question, I probably should put my bookmark. I'm tired of looking for it. Is no, just to let y'all know, there's no numbers in this book. Like the only thing that got numbers is each actual chapter. So in between, ain't no numbers. You gotta read through the whole thing just to let you know. So when you're looking around for stuff, I would say go to the table of contents and not do what I'm doing because you're gonna be just flicking your ass off. But I just want to get the spot. So when we come back at 6:15, I ain't got do that when we start. So the last and final question to the King Fyz Perspective Epic Book Club, and we are coming up on boom. We got 5 more minutes. We can close this out in an hour. This would be damn. We're breaking off an hour. This is perfect. All right. So last question: does prioritizing life insurance as a tool encourage general wealth and responsibility, or does it create an unhealthy obsession with financial worth and gifts and things like that? So, do you think prioritizing insurance and utilizing it as a generational wealth builder and helping out with finances, does that, mess up the connection, the emotional side, the grieving side, and all those other things with life insurance? Me personally, I feel like it kind of does, depending on the perspective and the angle that the person is going on. So if the person, is focused on it only for the money and don't care about their family life at this point, now they're just worried about getting money off of people, then yeah, that's gonna mess up moral and everything. But I feel like understanding it will lessen the blow of death, and it will benefit life. It will make life better and easier. I feel like it just makes it's a no-brainer for me personally. Why you would make that investment is just kind of it's a no-brainer. I put my money in something that eventually I can take some of the money out. That when I'm not here no more, it pays me more than I put in. It kind of sounds like a win-win. And when I think about it, I'm like, why would a company pay you more than you put in? But the reality of the fact is they understand that it's going to be people that do things like lie on the insurance policy and say that they don't smoke when they do it. So they already know that they can pull the autopsy and not pay you out because you went against the contract. So it's enough people that do that will compensate for the couple people that really follow through and you actually have to pay out in the end. So it's just like car insurance. You pay your car insurance. I always confuse that how people complain about the importance of life insurance and whether it pay out and if it pay out how much or whatever. When you pay car insurance every month for your whole life and it pays you nothing, you can't borrow nothing back from your car insurance. You pay your car insurance, it's just paid. And if you don't have an accident, you still have to pay that. That doesn't change anything. You still got to pay your car insurance whether your car crash or you don't. If your car crash, that's what's up. You get to pay it. But the funny part is your car crash and then your insurance rates go up. So then you're paying more for the same level of insurance. So ultimately, you willing to do that for a vehicle, but not for your actual human life vehicle, which is a little crazy on the perspective of I don't think people are thinking deeply about what it is that this behavior is, like psychologically, what's going on in your head that makes you feel like I want to spend hundreds of dollars to make sure that my car is straight, but I'm not willing to spend $10 to $20 to make sure that my life is straight. Even understanding that I can get some of that money back. It's like life insurance and car insurance to me is categorized similar to like the stock market and playing the lottery. It's like playing the lottery is car insurance and the stock market is life insurance. Because it's like playing the lottery, you put your money in, you lose, it's over. The stock market, you put your money in, you lose, you got the opportunity to either take it out for a little bit of loss or leave it and wait till it come back. So it's like, why do people spend time investing in things that have no benefit to get out of it? That really trips me out. Like, it's like you can't receive anything from that. That's almost like being in a relationship that you never get nothing out. Like, it's like you're doing everything for this person and they ain't doing shit. Like, you breaking your neck for them, they can't give you a sexual favor, they can't cook you nothing, they can't do anything for you, but you putting all this shit out for the possibility of once in the blue they might do something for you. That's crazy. It's like, why wouldn't you go the other way? But it's like, I feel like we so like you said, we so hooked up on right now that we worried about the quick what's going to happen right this second, and we willing to go and spend $1 at the dollar store for something that really costs $6 because you got the dollar now, but you would have just spent $6 and had it for the rest of your life. Now you gotta spend $1 every week because the shit keep breaking. And I keep explaining it like it's expensive to be cheap in life. In every aspect, it's expensive to be cheap. So don't be cheap with yourself. Don't be cheap with your body. Like, you see what I'm doing. I got a whole jug of, and mind you, this is the healthiest shit that I could find out the store when it came to juice. I just wanted coconut water. But this is coconut water with some fly shit in there. It does have citric acid and some kind of fucking gum in it. So those two ingredients right there is the most horrible ingredients in this item, but it's still better than the high fructose and every fucking thing else that I've seen in there. So I chose this. Like, it's this. I got mango, got watermelon, because I understand that if I want this body to do what it's supposed to do, I gotta put the right stuff in there. You ain't gonna put the wrong oil in your car, so why would you put the wrong food in your body? It's like, you're not gonna do that to you. That trips me out. What's poppin'? What's poppin'? What's going on, pimpin'? What's going on with you?
I'm good, man.
All right, welcome to the Epic Book Club. I just got finished asking the final question of the joint, but I'll ask you the question while you're right here. You tell me what you think. But do you think prioritizing life insurance as like a financial tool or whatever takes away from the emotional connection of when people pass? Like, do you think, like, thinking about the money and, you know, being able to borrow against life insurance policies, does that take away from you giving a fuck about your peoples? What you think?
What? You say what?
I said, do you think that when you get life insurance on somebody and borrow against it and stuff like that, do you think that take away from you caring about that person's life? Or when they, you know, like, oh yeah, I can't wait till they die so I can get this money? Or do you think it's just like, you know, you taking care of what you need to take care of?
Yeah.
Which one?
First one.
All right. Wait. I feel like it's definitely important to have it, but not let it just take over your whole damn purpose of, you know, dealing with the person and all that type of stuff. How you feel about life insurance? You against it or for it?
What you done, man?
Huh?
What you done, boy?
You said what?
Where you at? Where you at?
All right, that conversation is going. We ain't even in the same category of conversation. You asked me questions that's totally irrelevant to what we already talking about. So we will have to disconnect the conversation for that purpose. When we get on the same frequency, we'll be able to communicate again. But this has been King Fyz Perspective, Epic Book Club, talking about the Death Chapter. We will be back 6:15 p.m. EST on YouTube and BGO Live. First Wednesday of every month, we will be bringing it back. September the 17th, new book will be out, The Actual Life Guide. This workbook is going to be the #1 workbook for clarity, understanding, change your mind. I got another surprise. This is big. Like, the workbook was big, but I got something really, really big that I'm working on, and it hasn't been done yet, in our sector of either entertainers or people that do kind of these type of things, that I have noticed. And it's one person that has done it, and they got a big name, and it did really well. And I think it inadvertently inspired me to do something similar. But what I'm doing now, I feel like it would have such a better benefit for our community, because everything I'm creating, this is legacy based. This is me creating structures that will benefit my kids in the future, things that I could be proud of creating, and things that I know that will help change people's life. And the more I dedicate myself to doing that, the better I become. Like the improvements that psychologically that has happened in the process of me creating these curriculums and things like that has been amazing. So it's like I'm helping y'all to help me. So I'm just excited because I get refilled every time I get a new activity. But this next one, I'm just excited, and it's going to be very fun, very entertaining. And I also feel like on social media for creators and everything, I feel like it's going to go viral, and I feel like it'll be beneficial, especially for people that create content and need content. I feel like this is definitely going to be the one easy way for you to create your content, and get some engagements going on. So yes, I can't wait. I ain't gonna speak on it though, because I don't want to speak on it too early. I already feel like I might have spoke on the book too early, even though it's 2 weeks away. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming. But the clock is ticking, the pressure is on, so final touches and all that popping. So we gonna get this thing going. It will be available on Amazon, and it will also be available on my site. I think we're gonna probably run the Amazon run first, and see what we got going on out there. So definitely tap in, Google King Fyz Perspective if you want to check out some of the other things I got going on. I also do poetry as well. At the 6:15, I may pop up and do some poetry, just depending on where I'm at that time. But this has been King Fyz Perspective Epic Book Club. I appreciate you. Thank you. Make sure you get the book, ebook, and audiobook available now. Downloads as low as $2. Preview 10 minutes on YouTube. You can view that. Also, I do consultations and all that. So if you need any guidance, help, assistance with anything, setting up websites, helping with creating contracts, businesses, editing, video, pretty much I do a lot of different things. So just tap in with me, and I'll get right back with you. But I definitely appreciate you. Thank you so much for participating today. This has been King Fyz Perspective. Take care and enjoy life.